Okay, everybody, welcome back. We're really going to get into it now. First off, it's October, it's the fall. October of 2015. Man, time is flying. Now, I am a guy who likes the weather warm, sunny, be outdoors. So, summer's my favorite season, but as far as sports go, this is absolutely my favorite time of year. We've got the baseball playoffs heating up. Football season's in full swing, college football's in full swing, college basketball's getting ready to start, the NBA preseason is going, getting ready to start in a week or two. You've got all hockey getting ready to start. You got all your sports going right now. For a sports fan, this time of year is like the best thing you could ask for, short of the Super Bowl every day. Now, since we're really getting into the meat of the football season now, teams are starting to show you who we are. Most teams have played about a third of their schedule, 16 games, so a third would be somewhere between 5 and 6 games. So we're looking right at about teams coming into shape really being what they are. So we're going to take a quick look around the league and, see what we think about certain teams so far. We'll start in the AFC, and we'll start with the East. I'm going to go through some teams quicker. We'll spend more time on some other teams. Some teams, there's just not much to be said. But we'll start in the AFC in the East Division, and we'll work our way from the bottom up. The Dolphins, they've got some talent. They've got some good defensive line players, a young quarterback who's developing, but for some reason, they just don't seem to be able to put it together, and the rest of the division seems to be pulling away from them. At 2-3, the Dolphins are in trouble this year. You've got the Buffalo Bills in the division. You got a new head coach up there with Rex Ryan, a new running back in Shady McCoy. You've got young receivers like Sammy Watkins. You've got a young quarterback, mobile, not the most polished or pedigreed kid, but Tyrod Taylor, he's been doing all right. Rex Ryan thinks he's his man. And at 3-3, they've shown some flashes of being an improved team, but I think they've still got a way to go. Now we're looking at the Jets. The Jets are actually a solid team. With Brandon Marshall and Eric Decker, they've got decent receivers. They've always been good on the lines on both sides of the ball. They've got Revis and Cromartie in the outsides on the defense. They're a good defensive team, and it's no wonder they're 4-1. But if Ryan Fitzpatrick is your quarterback, how far do you really think you're going to go? Maybe they make the playoffs, but I don't really count them as a serious threat to win anything. Then you've got at the top of the division, 5-0, Brady and Belichick. Oh man, now we're getting into them. I know a lot of people got a lot of feelings about these guys. They want to call them cheaters, they want to call them dirty. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. I don't know them, so I can't say for sure one way or the other. One thing I do know is that they know how to win games. If Belichick needs to call a play that's marginally legal, take advantage of some minutia in the rule book that nobody else is even aware of, he'll do it. They changed the rule book this year because last year against the Ravens, these dudes were running a play that nobody even knew it was legal, never seen it before, shifting players on the line, who's eligible, who's not. They'll do whatever. They'll pull it all out. Their bag of tricks is the deepest, and they've been winning for years and years and years because of it. Now, what we're looking at next, the AFC North. Baltimore Ravens. I actually like the Baltimore Ravens team, but at 1-5, I'm gonna have to just say they're not that good. Cleveland Browns, 2-4. That's enough said about them. Pittsburgh Steelers are a surprising team at 4-2. So when Ben Roethlisberger went down and Michael Vick came in to be a quarterback, let's get this clear. I think Michael Vick is a bum. Exciting, exceptional physical talent, but I think he's a bum. 4-2 though, with him at the quarterback. Big Ben set to come back soon, possibly eyeing a Week 7 return. Steelers should be in good shape to make a playoff run. I don't see Super Bowl for them, but they'll make it fun. The Bengals, 6-0, so what? They're frauds. Until Andy Dalton proves he can win in December, January, and beyond, you'll keep hearing me say the same thing. So what? Frauds. Now we're at the AFC South. Jacksonville 1-5, they stink. That's it for them. Tennessee Titans, they're 1-4. Their defense is solid. They've got a young quarterback. And they're just going to go through a lot of growing pains. This won't be their year, but maybe next year. Houston Texans, they've got no quarterback. They don't have a young quarterback. They don't have a developing quarterback. They just need a quarterback. So until they get straightened out, they're going to have problems. 2-4, that's about what they are. And then we're looking at the division-leading 3-3 Indianapolis Colts. That's right, I said 3-3 is leading the division. And Colts, great young quarterback, some talented weapons on the outside. They've got problems on the D-line. There are some problems, it looks like, on the O-line. And after last game, some people might say they've had some coaching problems too, with Chuck Pagano calling some stuff that I don't even know what to call that, but his job's on the line at this point. So the Colts, they'll win the division by default because the rest of the division, as we just discussed, is suspect at best, but yeah, that's what we've got. And finally, for the AFC, we're in the West. Chiefs, 1-5. It's over for them. You got a quarterback who can't carry you. He won't lose the game for you, but he can't carry you either. Your running back is down for the year. They're in trouble. San Diego Chargers, yeah, I just never trusted them. Phillip Rivers, he's a guy that'll give you good stats, but I've never really seen winner in him. Oakland Raiders, they're the Raiders. I mean, what can be said about them? They're a dysfunctional franchise at best. Maybe in a couple years they'll get it together. Not right now. Denver Broncos, I'm going to say something crazy, but I like this team. They're 6-0, but everybody's talking about Peyton's struggles and how he's throwing picks, his arm isn't the same. But the fact that they're 6-0 anyway says a lot to me. It means they're playing defense. It means they're able to move the ball even though the quarterback is struggling. And that is December football. That's January football. Because Peyton's teams, they've always been those high-flying, high-powered offenses that when you got to the playoffs, they weren't built to play that low-scoring, slug-it-out type football. That's exactly what these Denver Broncos are doing, and teams should be worried. For the AFC, I'm seeing Denver and New England in the championship game. Now we're in the NFC, and I'm going to start on the other way. I will start with the West this time. 49ers, the mutiny, defections, retirements, change of coach in the offseason, you're seeing it take its toll. 2-4, they're in trouble. Good thing for the 49ers is, though, that the rest of that division, not a whole lot greater with few exceptions. The Seahawks are starting to see the effects of what I call the salary cap effect. It is really quite simple. NFL has a hard salary cap, which means you have a finite amount of cash to fill out your roster, pay all your players. You pay, well, you win your players, of course, that must mean they're good. So they're going to want to start getting paid. You start paying guys more money, that means you can't keep as many of the good guys. You got to lose some players, start to replace them with younger guys, cheaper guys. You know, guys like Byron Maxwell, he's in Philly, and they replace him with Philly's old corner, Kerry Williams. Come on. He's not going to get it done. But I'm not going to bash Kerry Williams. we're just going to say at 2-4, the Seahawks are really starting to feel the effects. And Russell Wilson's big contract, that's not helping a bit. The Rams, who knows what to say about the Rams? You got Nick Foles at the quarterback this year. He's had some good games. He's had some bad games. That team, I just don't know what they are, but I don't see them winning too much this year. And then the Arizona Cardinals. Good defense, good weapons. If Carson Palmer can stay upright, they're a real threat. Now we're to the NFC South. New Orleans Saints, their run is over. Drew Brees is over the hill. The injuries to his shoulder, they don't heal in your late 30s the same way they do in your late 20s, aka the shoulder injury he had that got him to New Orleans in the first place. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, young quarterback who the jury's still out on, got some good weapons on offense other than that, especially at the receiver positions. Defense, hopefully Lovie Smith will get that right soon. And in a couple years, they could possibly be a decent team. The Atlanta Falcons, I actually call the Bengals the Falcons of the East, the Falcons of the AFC, because the Falcons were the first team I ever called frauds, going back to when they were 14-2 a few years ago. Another one of those teams plays indoors, good conditions, you can move the ball around, but you got to play a battle-tested playoff team, a physical team that hits you in the mouth. They don't win late. They're frauds, I don't trust them. And the Carolina Panthers, who are leading that division at 5-0, you've got them looking like they're good. Not really. They're just the best team in that division right now. And then we're into the NFC North. Lions 1-5. Nah, we're not even talking about them. Bears 2-4. They might actually be worse than the 1-5 Lions. Minnesota Vikings, they got Adrian Peterson back. They got the young quarterback in Bridgewater. They got a couple young pieces at receiver. They're on the uptick, but not a real threat for the Super Bowl. Maybe get in the playoffs as a wild card team, maybe not. It'll be close, but I don't see them making a real push. And then you've got the Green Bay Packers leading the division at 6-0. Depending on your personal opinion, he's one of not even arguably, he's definitely top two quarterback in the league, arguably the best depending on your perspective. He can physically do some things that Brady can't do with his legs. He's a little quicker, a little more mobile versus Brady, who just kind of works the pocket and gets rid of the ball. But both those guys, if you need one quarterback to win, you're not really going to lose with either one. Packers 6-0, they're the real deal. And now to the NFC East. You hear the tone in my voice dropping. It's the NFC East, and they're just not that good this year as a division. Redskins stink. Eagles got some talent, but their system is flawed, if you ask me. And as someone who grew up, born and raised in the Philly area, I have some affinity for the Eagles, so that one kind of hurts. We'll get to them another day. But, yeah. Maybe they win the division, maybe they don't. It's up for grabs. Anybody can win it. But nobody in this division is going to make a whole lot of noise in the playoffs. Cowboys, probably the most talented team in this division when their roster's complete, but they've got Romo down for extended period, Dez Bryant down with extended period, both broken bones, shoulder and foot respectively. It's going to be tough for them to win enough games before the Stars get back to really stay afloat. And the Giants leading the division at 3-2 by default. The rest of the division's bad, but I don't see them making a whole lot of noise either with the passing defense that's dead last in the league right now. So we're looking at Packers coming out the NFC. I'm just calling it for the Packers. And AFC, Broncos and Patriots in the championship game. And that's your NFL third way through the season wrap up. Now, after a quick break, we're going to get into some real MJ mad scientist stuff. I'm going to give you a look inside my brain. Right back after the break.
You're on the ticket with Advent Sports Network, home of Falcon Pride, One-on-One with MJ, and the Lance J Radio Show.
This is Michaela Arthur. Check out my show, Falcon Pride, where I cover all things sports for Pine Forge Academy on Advent Sports Network.
Wouldn't it be cool if the whole wide world knew what I know about you?
Suddenly, a loud tremor shakes the entire building. Slowly, the great skyscraper begins to rise from its foundations.
The building, it's floating into the air.
We're going higher, faster.
This is your doing, Submariner. You can stop this. I can't, you fools. I merely planted the trap. But it has been triggered by Dr. Doom.
Will Namor and the Defenders escape the trap that boomeranged?
Coming soon to Advent Sports Network, One-on-One with MJ, starring Michael A. Jones.